Okay, everybody, we're back with, I didn't catch the episode 5 of season 5.
It's called Purgatorio.
I was going to say chapter 80, Purgatorio.
Yeah.
And I'm Will.
And I'm Kristen.
And we're covering Riverdale. I loved this.
Me too.
Did you? Okay.
Yeah, it was like a calmer enjoyment because there was a lot of like meeting new people and catching up with where the people have been. So it was not like when Riverdale's at its zaniest and I'm having a good time, but it was still really, really a lot of fun.
It's a proper reboot, and it's the kind of thing that I'm curious to see how it goes and where it goes, because basically they've just sort of glitched and now all these kids are adults and they've been behaving like adults the whole time. Although it's funny to me now because I'm like, who are these children acting like they're adults? And I'm like, oh no, they're actually adults, because the ages we're dealing with, it's like 24 to like 26 or 7. That's sort of like the age range.
Well, if it's 7 years after graduation, it's like 24 and 25.
Mm-hmm. Some of them could
Pretty
be 26.
much, yeah.
And I mean, I think Sweet Pea, was he in the class? Yeah, he was in the class.
Well, yeah.
It was resetting the stage, and some of it was a little bit funny. Like, it was a lot to take. I have the hardest time with Jughead. I like Jughead. He's fine. But there is just a very, it thinks it's people quality anytime Jughead has major storylines for me.
So it's not even, for me, it's not even he thinks he's people. For me, it's he thinks he's a writer. And it's just like, I don't know what to tell you, dude. And he also kept saying there were debt collectors coming to the house. Those were loan sharks. That's a whole separate establishment that you're talking about.
It's also this thing that so many of these shows do. And as a writer myself, sorry, I could.
Hey, look, it's right there.
They always depict writers as just sort of like writing their life. And it's like, that's an aspect of writing sometimes. And that's a type, like semi-autobiographical is like a type of writing. But a good chunk of writers are just people making shit up. Like,
and they're also just like constantly, they're like semi-autobiographical authors who are also just generally assholes. And that's like not always the case either. Like, Jughead feels like he turned into like a bigger asshole than he was.
But there's just like, there are like in a lot of there are elements of like people they know, or like feelings from things that happened to them. Like, because they say write what you know, but it's just this chick, Cora, comes at him with like, the serpent leader and the prom queen, and she's like, it was a
viper.
Viper. Okay, yeah. Like, it was a revelation and not like one of the old. Because that's also the thing about Riverdale, and it's what I like about Riverdale, is that it's such an American Gothic thing.
It's like really tropey on purpose.
So I like that. I think that's fine, but I don't know. Jughead's fine. He's just my personal least favorite in this.
Yeah.
I struggled a little bit with Veronica. I didn't fully understand what her thing is.
It's Uncut Gems.
Oh.
Yeah. I literally was like, why is Veronica working in Uncut Gems?
Well, so what is Uncut Gems? I didn't watch it. It seemed shady.
I didn't like it. Huh?
It seemed shady.
Yeah, it's super shady.
So explain to me what she quit Lacey's and she's
okay. So the full timeline is like she gets married to this guy Chadwick.
Yeah,
whatever.
Not a fan. Not a vibe.
Me neither. Trying to pressure her at the age of 24 into having a baby. Get out of here. Get out of here with your crap. So they meet and get married. They are like on the stock exchange floor, apparently being traders together. Fine, I'll allow it. It's whatever. And then on the way to Marcia's vineyard.
We've introduced a whole new bundle of words into this show. Now that they're adults. It's gonna be so good. Go ahead, Marcia's vineyard, yes.
So in a helicopter on their way to Marcia's vineyard, they have an accident, and they both, I guess, sort of like miraculously survive this helicopter crash. And then
because
he
prayed.
insists that she stop her stressful job and go work at Lacey's with Katie Keene, which, as we know from having watched Katie Keene, that's not less stressful at all. And then instead, because it's not dark enough and dangerous enough, she quits Lacey's and goes to work at this, like, skeezy jewelry store, which is, like, exactly like Uncut Gems.
Yeah, but what is the crime?
It's not Uncut Gems doesn't really have a crime.
They're just selling jewelry?
No crime. Yeah, okay. A really brief synopsis of what happens in Uncut Gems is Adam Sandler comes into possession of this uncut opal, and he basically lends it to an NBA player, and then he, like, is betting on other stuff so that he can pay to get it back from the NBA player, and it's sort of like a double cross and a triple cross, and, like, but the opal, it's not really a crime. He just makes a bunch of bad decisions. You would hate it.
No, I understand that. You're explaining Uncut Gems to me. I need to understand why it seemed untoward. What was the scenes where she was at the jewelry store? That didn't seem like a fucking Zales. And
no,
like, what was the Glamour J egg?
Well, he gave it to her, and then she sold it. It's just a little shady. I don't think she's doing crime.
I thought those were flashbacks.
No.
Oh, I thought
she is currently right now working at the skeezy jewelry store.
I thought he had, like, acquired the Glamour J egg. Okay. I thought she had sold it before he gave it to her. Okay.
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. I think I'm there. I still don't understand why is it a skeezy jewelry store? Why can't she just work at a regular jewelry store?
Because she needs the danger. She was running, like, 2 illegal businesses and helping her dad's illegal business on the side all through high school. She,
in
like,
3
can't
episodes,
just work
this is
at
gonna
Lacey's.
click for me, but I don't get it right now. I do not understand what's happening.
It's just also, like, she's trying to sort of step away from this, like, perfectly manicured life that she's acquired for herself with the most metaphorically long dining room table I've ever seen in my life. It was like Mr. and Mrs. Smith, the amount of space between them.
Well, because I'm like, why doesn't she just go to, like, a Bojangles in a shady side of town if she wants danger? Like,
I don't know. Because they wanted to make an Uncut Gems segment, and it really, like, chafed a lot.
Well, I'll get there eventually. Although I cannot say it is 100% what I want. It's far more than I thought I was ever going to get. What we got of Hermione Lodge's Real Housewives. I got to see her on a blue screen. So
I do wonder, do they refilm their, like, taglines in every season? Because otherwise sometimes. She's 7 years into this and only just filming her tagline.
Sometimes they update them. Okay, so then we go to FBI Betty.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming you enjoyed.
I like FBI Betty. Although, isn't her boyfriend one of the hunky dudes from Bitten?
Yeah, Grayson Holt.
Yeah, okay.
I Googled, I looked on Twitter, I looked on IMDb, I looked everywhere, and, like, he hasn't talked on Twitter in, like, weeks, and I was like, what the fuck? Yeah,
it doesn't, IMDb takes a minute to update. Like, it'll be days before it's
Tabitha's on there, but, no, I couldn't believe he was like, check out Riverdale. But yeah, I literally was like, werewolf! Yeah. And he's younger than I thought he was. I was like, this dude's like 40, and no, he's like 34. I mean, that's older. Well, that's older than Betty currently.
Lily,
is,
yeah.
So
no, I liked it a lot.
She's still a trainee.
She's still a trainee, which is fine if she went to regular college, and then I think there's a couple years
at Quantico.
So
if we know one thing.
Yeah, plus it seems like she was, like, forced to not really take a leave of absence, but she's not doing her actual, like, trainee stuff because she got kidnapped by the trash bag killer, which is kind of hilarious that they just, like, took an acronym of an actual serial killer and then just flipped the letters around and made it this new one.
What is it? The original?
The BTK killer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He would blind and torture and kill. And so it's bad. So the trash bag killer, but it's like, I was thinking he was killing people with a trash bag, like suffocating people with a trash bag. He was just like putting the already dead people parts in trash bags. But he's also Buffalo Bill because Betty was in a pit at one point.
No, that I'm fine with. I'm fine with all the homages except for Uncut Gems, I suppose.
Okay, the thing is, I'm fine with the homages, but it always, when they're doing an episode like this, or like when they did the noir episode, it just always feels like there's too many. And they feel like they think they're so clever, and I'm like, this is bottom of the barrel stuff. Like, her therapist's name was Dr. Starling, and I'm just like, you don't say.
It's not bottom of the barrel stuff. It also depends on who the audience for this show is. Because, I mean, we maintain it's us, but there are, believe it or not, teenagers watching this. That's true. What was the other? I wrote down another word that they said that I was like, oh, Cloverfield Lane.
Oh, Cloverfield Lane, yeah.
Yeah, they referenced a few
Toni's
things.
living.
But Betty has a cat now. We buried the lead. And
is that important?
I feel like it's, maybe not. I figured she was going to have a cat.
Okay, yeah. I mean, she's got a cat. Its name is Toffee. Oh, you mean because of, like, Butterscotch or whatever the one was when she was little? The orange cat that she, like...
No, I forgot about that.
Hal made her kill? Oh.
I just, for some reason, thought it was going to be a plot that she was going to have a cat, and it's not.
No, I doubt it. I don't think she's going back to that apartment anytime soon.
The cat's just...
I think Werewolf Boyfriend acquired a cat.
Okay. Oh, yeah, so he's just not even going to be on... I don't know what's happening. But she's having nightmares of being tracked down, which is why I don't know how these people do this. Like, I could never be FBI. I would be too scared that they were gonna come kill me. Like, remember we were talking about Prisoners, and Jake Gyllenhaal is just like barging into like scary basements and stuff. And it's like,
he did the same thing in Zodiac too.
Yeah,
because we watched them at the same time, and you were like, "What on earth is his problem going in these basements you can't get out of?"
I already don't answer my phone because I'm like 23% sure a killer has found me. Like, I'm just like, but yeah, that was a horrible nightmare she had. And then Archie called her back. And so I guess, well, we do have one more, but I feel like we'll close with that. So that does bring us to Archie. I actually was really wowed by the opening scene. I really liked the battlefield on the football field.
It was pretty good. There was a moment in the preview last week where I was like, oh my god, this like battle's taking place in a football field, and it was almost like I couldn't tell if it was I couldn't tell if it was like on purpose or if they were just using the football field location. And so having it be like a sort of a fever dream post-war, it was good, and I liked that a lot.
And I loved having Cheryl there. We don't get a lot of it. It's a very me dynamic, but I love whenever Archie and Cheryl have like a connection, and the fact that she was the only one, I think, that was in her cheerleading uniform.
Reggie was like in the locker room, but he wasn't on the field.
And well, because the people like Veronica was on the sidelines, but she was just like cheering on. Mm-hmm. And it was like when he was trying to save his buddy that him and Cheryl made eye contact, and it just sort of. We somehow didn't see Jason, but it just sort of reminded me of the series opening, the series starting.
Yeah, definitely.
And so he's come back to Riverdale, and I kept feeling the urge to criticize how far downhill Riverdale has gone in such a short amount of time. But then I kept remembering our hometown. So it's not quite that far-fetched.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I thought something different. I want to jump back for just a minute to when Archie, before he like came back, because that guy was sitting next to his hospital bed, and he was like, the ROTC program at your old school is lapsed, and I thought for sure that he was just gonna get demoted or something, like as if the ROTC program was like never valid, and so he shouldn't have been able to get into the army or something. That's neither here nor there, but I think it's super believable if Hiram is somehow still or again in charge of the town, that he would be like funneling all the money out of Riverdale to make this like Sodale thing work.
I do like that he's like full supervillain at this point, because that was always our issue, is they were constantly threatening to redeem him and or like rehabilitate him. And so I'm okay with Hiram if he's comic bad guy. Like,
sure.
I guess we'll see how this goes. We got a new character. Her name is Toni Topaz.
Yeah. Oh my God. What a breath of fresh air.
It was wild.
When she was dancing, I was like, are those long braids that she has now, are those meant to be distracting from her pregnancy? Because I was like, they are not. Because I didn't realize Toni was going to be pregnant also. And I have even money on Kevin being the father.
Why?
I don't know. Who else would it be?
Kevin and Fangs have been apparently just like happily together this whole time, so we're gonna have to have drama somewhere.
They like went away to college together. Maybe she's not saying because it's a secret. Maybe she's having a baby for them.
Well, they didn't have to explain that somehow because they're going to acquire a baby somewhere, and hers is going to be missing. I mean, it's
yeah. I don't know. I'm curious.
I was thinking. If this show's track record is any indication, we won't get 3 episodes before her and Archie are banging.
That's fair.
So, I was into it though. I liked her role in this. I liked
me too.
The material she got, and even there was that slight nod where she was going to leave the 4 of them alone at the end of the diner, and he was like, I mean, this is you, sit down. And I love, that's one of the things I love so much is the ensemble on the show, and I want to bring them back in. And it does feel... I
want them to be spending time together. I like, not in little 2s and 3s. I want like 5 or 6 of them to be like doing whatever they're doing together,
or new 2s and 3s,
or like, new 2s and 3s, yeah,
new dynamics. I think I like Reggie being one of Hiram's lackeys. I like Reggie. We've never done
with how hot he is.
Yeah, we've never done a lot with him, and like I said before, I sort of get the feeling that that's not quite the point of Reggie. But
yeah, I preferred him when he was Veronica's lackey, and he was just sort of like a dumb puppy. I liked that a lot. If we're trying to make him into like some sort of like smart henchman kingpin, then I'm not into it.
Which does bring us to my favorite part. Apparently, Cheryl has gone full Winchester.
Yeah, there's like a little bit of Mrs. Havisham thrown in there too. It's a lot.
You always think you've reached the bottom or top, whichever. You always think you've reached the summit, and there's still more mountain to climb with Cheryl.
Yeah,
It's just so funny to me. It's like post parody. I don't know. I love Nana Rose. I don't have any idea what's going on.
What is going on? Is Nana Rose some sort of like art theft kingpin? What is she's trying to make her recreate a Rembrandt? What's happening? I have no idea what's happening. And I literally am like, all of a sudden Nana Rose is like so lucid.
She's savvy.
She's 100% there. And she's like,
7 full years later,
this Rembrandt and let's see what we can do. What on earth? I have no idea. It's blowing my mind.
I don't know. I love what they're doing with Thornhill and that stained glass window. I loved how you could hear the guys working on the house, and it's just like, I don't know, that it's just so funny. I love when this show just goes whole hog, just full high on its own supply. And so the Ghoulies live in Archie's old house now. Mary's renting it to them, I guess. The school is still there. Kevin works at it. Stonewall Prep is still in play somehow.
Toni works at the school too.
She works where?
At the school too.
What did she do with? Oh, she's the counselor.
She's the guidance counselor, and then Archie is going to like revamp the ROTC thing. So
that seems to be the MO this season, is bringing Riverdale back, I guess.
Yeah, they're gonna clean up Riverdale.
Yeah, which I don't know is the right move, but
well, they've got to do something.
Yeah, I mean to an extent, but I don't know. I'm intrigued. We also have Tabitha. I guess she's Pop's daughter, granddaughter, something.
I think she's just a waitress.
Is she just a waitress? Okay. He's retiring.
Nothing was made clear to me about it.
Okay. He's retired. I thought he was dead. So when he showed up, I was like, oh God. Like, I was like, I thought they said he was dead. And I just filled in blanks. So Tabitha's a waitress. She's a series regular. So she's somebody.
Oh. Okay.
That actress was added to the cast. And then we have Squeaky.
She is dying in that.
I was going to say she's alive, but she doesn't seem long for this world.
Also, Squeaky from was one of Charles Manson's like high ups.
So I think that's really it. I really enjoyed it. I liked the things that we set up. I'm curious to see where we're going to go. I'm super in.
Yeah, me too. I'm excited to mostly see if Cora is going to blackmail Jughead into publishing her novel.
Oh, yeah, I've already forgotten. I guess not. I was gonna be like, I've already forgotten her, and I'm like, oh, she'll come back. She'll be back.
She had really good hair. She had like a nice presence and really good hair, and I was like, it might come back. So yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, we'll be back next week. Bye.